You guys hear that?
Nothing around there. And those.
Is literally right outside there, but I can't find my car key for the life of me.
Not every encounter is sudden. Some unfold, slowly building tension with every second. From navigating a vast underground maze with no escape, to hearing something move around you in the dark. These moments test how far instinct can carry you. In that situation, would you trust it or hesitate? Today's account takes us far beneath Paris, into a network that is both rich in history and filled with real danger. It centers on Galagi, the well-known creator behind Nightscape, a channel with over 1 million followers, recognized for daring and immersive explorations. However, this expedition would turn into one of the most frightening moments he had ever faced. The story began on June 7, 2017, in London. On short notice, Galagi and his friend Dibs decided to book a bus to Paris, intending to explore one of the city's most notorious underground locations, the Paris catacombs.
What is going on, guys? Nightscape here. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a quick rundown of the situation right now. So currently, me and the boy Dibsdale, we are in my place. At about 3 AM this morning, we decided to book coaches to Paris at 9 AM. Currently, we've both done an all-nighter. We are both extremely tired. We are gonna push through it. We're gonna go to Victoria. We're gonna get on a coach to Paris, and we're gonna try and explore the catacombs and potentially some rooftops. Hopefully it should be good. Hope you guys enjoy.
While a limited section is open to tourists, their plan was different. They aimed to access the restricted areas, a vast underground network extending more than 200 miles beneath the city. To find their way through the maze, they contacted a local explorer online who used the name Tainted. He claimed strong familiarity with the tunnels and offered to guide them. Relying on his confidence, they met him in Paris the next day and prepared for what they expected to be an exciting exploration.
Yeah.
Okay, so
What just happened?
Okay.
What just happened?
Essentially what happened was, we came with a guy called Tainted, who we met on Instagram. And we got to this room, we got pretty deep. We came in, we've been walking for a good 20 minutes. And then we went to go get some pictures. He stayed here with my camera and our bags. After about a few minutes, he said he was going to pee. We said, okay, cool. And then we came back. He hasn't returned. It's been about 20 minutes now. My camera's gone. And he's left us alone, taking my camera deep in the Paris catacombs. So we're a bit not sure what to do at the moment.
Look, let me show you guys. We don't really know the way back. We're not sure of the way back.
We don't know the way back.
So we're stuck underground, and we found this ladder, which is very, very tall, but it's completely locked. Completely locked. So we literally don't know the way out, and we're stuck deep under Paris. We've got a bus back to London at 9 AM.
Okay, I mean, this is pretty crazy. I've never really been in a situation like this. So now this vlog has taken a turn from Paris catacombs to stuck in Paris catacombs.
From a fun urbex vlog to literally
We won't die, but it's it's just it's crazy because he was did you shake your head? Yeah, it's crazy because he was such a nice guy as well. We thought it was so cool.
We invited him to London.
We invited him to London, everything, and now he's done this, and it's just you don't do that, man. That's just crazy. Who does that?
Dark and our torches and shit.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. So yeah, from now I'm gonna be vlogging, trying to get out of the Paris catacombs, and let's do this.
They entered the catacombs and moved deeper into the dark, narrow passages. Roughly 20 minutes later, they stopped briefly to take photos. Tainted was holding Galagi's camera while the others explored nearby. Suddenly, without any warning, he vanished, taking the camera and their bags with him. At first, they believed he had only stepped away momentarily, But as time passed, it became clear what had happened. They had been robbed and left behind underground. Fear quickly started to rise. They had no map, no water, no signal, and no clear sense of direction. Attempting to stay composed, they wandered through the tunnels only to realize how deep and disoriented they had become. A sealed ladder offered no way out, and time was running out. They needed to catch their bus back to London the next morning. As a final attempt to stay oriented, they began dropping small objects along their path, creating a rough trail to follow. What had started as an exciting trip had now become a situation of survival.
So, it's 2:09 a.m. right now. I've got 12% battery and no service. I'm gonna try and go to the top of this ladder. Hopefully we can get service. But yeah, if not, we're just gonna have to try and make our way up. The thing is as well, you might be thinking this is fake, but I promise, I swear on my life, this is not fake.
Abandoned. I got work Friday, reckon I'll make it.
No, mate.
Music. Yo! Gallagher! Come. Yo, man!
After hours of confusion, fading battery, and no visible exit, they eventually heard something unexpected, faint music echoing from somewhere deeper within the tunnels. They called out, hoping someone might respond.
Came here with a person.
Yes.
Cataphile?
With a cataphile.
I see nobody.
Nobody.
He
Been
took
robbed
my
then.
camera and left.
Here. Here.
This is us.
Yes. Here. Exit.
Fuck that.
He asked us if we wanted to see.
Merci.
Thank you, thank you.
Mate, how am I gonna get my camera back?
Well, I don't know if you are going to be able to.
By sheer coincidence, a man appeared, a local, familiar with the restricted sections of the catacombs. After hearing their situation, he agreed to help.
You sweet? Can't believe it, man. It was such a good trip as well. It was going so well. And pretty much all of my footage is gone as well. I've got like one day.
He guided them through tight corridors and water-filled passages until they finally reached an exit. They had made it out. Exhausted, both physically and mentally, they returned to their hotel.
We're out of the catacombs. I think now me and Dibs were just like a bit baffled really as to what has just happened. I mean, like he took us down there. He seemed like such a nice guy. We were nice to him. There was nothing bad, like it was just a normal situation. We got deep into the catacombs. We sat down. We told him that we had no map, no food, no water. He knew that, and still he goes on and robs me and leaves us deep in the catacombs. Like, I don't get what kind of person does that to someone. It's just, I really just don't know what to say really. Like, I don't know. What makes it worse is that now I literally don't have a camera. So I genuinely don't think I'm gonna be able to afford another one. Not for a long time, especially if I can't make, sorry, I could not make a proper vlog for you guys. It was such a good trip. I had so much more footage that I had for you. It was so good. What can you do? These things happen sometimes. All right, we're gonna change our shoes and then we're gonna go back to our hotel.
The aftermath was filled with anger and disbelief. The person they had trusted had not only taken their belongings but had also knowingly left them underground without basic supplies. It was a betrayal that left a lasting impact. Later on, Camera Galagi shared his disappointment at not being able to complete the vlog he originally planned. Most of the footage had been lost, along with the stolen camera. What remained, however, was a stark reminder of how quickly situations can spiral when trust is placed in the wrong person. The Paris catacombs attract many unauthorized explorers, but they are also known for deception and hidden risks. Some believe the incident may have been planned from the beginning, while others think the danger of navigating such an immense underground system with a stranger is already enough to explain what happened. Regardless of intent, the betrayal cost them their equipment and could have led to something far worse. They were fortunate someone found them, but if no one had, and more unsettling still, what else might be hiding in those tunnels beyond human presence? In February 2024, YouTuber Novice Wild Camper went back deep into his local forest for a hammock camping trip, returning to the same location he had previously left after objects were mysteriously thrown at him. This time, he brought an infrared camera hoping to gain a clearer understanding of what had happened before. As night settled in, the camera began picking up unsettling details.
And you can choose different versions of how you want to see it. So you can have white hot or different color combinations. So as night vision goggles would work, or thermal imaging. But you can also turn this and it will focus in on whatever you're looking at. Now ideally you should have it mounted on a tripod to keep it stable, just because it's better picture quality. Something behind me. See, why is that log showing warm? Oh, he's back. What is that? What is that? Oh. There was another mouse eating something. So I keep seeing loads of mice and things dotted about. Nothing around there. Fuck is that? There's two fucking handprints. Just put my torch on. That wasn't there 2 seconds ago. I swear that wasn't there. There's two. I keep seeing like a flash of light. It's like as the camera comes around, it disappears. See there? Look. Back to my hammock. That's freaked me out. That's hands. What the fuck's that behind it? It's like moving behind the tree. Fuck. Fuck is that over there? Well, I've literally been sitting here for about the last hour in the pitch black, just using the thermal camera and watching. I've heard quite a few crash noises over to my right. And annoyingly, that's where the trail cam is that connects to my phone, so I don't know if it's working. The other one points left, and those marks on the tree were in front of me, so they're on a big tree that's in front of the hammock. They're not there now. I just had a look with the thermal camera, so it's been considerably quieter here than last time. There's just been a couple of weird instances like that. The hand marks. There was something behind the tree that you could see moving, and I couldn't quite make it out. And if I put the torch on, everything just disappeared.
Heat spots on objects that should have been cold, brief movements behind trees, and what looked like fresh handprints on a nearby trunk that disappeared moments later. Strange noises echoed through the darkness, followed by flashes of motion that vanished whenever he switched back to normal lighting. Infrared and thermal imaging can sometimes amplify natural heat sources, but the timing and placement of what he recorded felt deeply unsettling. Were these simply animals and environmental factors misleading the equipment, or did he unknowingly share the forest with someone or something watching him from the dark? In October 2025, YouTuber Adventure Marksman went into the mountains for what was expected to be a routine elk hunting trip, using a retube elk call and making vocal calls himself along the way. Instead of receiving elk responses, he began hearing a series of unsettling sounds, echoing back high-pitched cries, combined with deeper guttural tones that did not match anything he anticipated.
Oh no. It's time to go.
The unusual audio quickly unsettled him and ultimately led him to leave the area. While many viewers immediately suggested something unnatural, one experienced outdoorsman offered a more grounded explanation, noting that ravens, known for their wide and eerie range of calls, may have been gathered around a carcass, possibly along with another large animal. Even so, that explanation did not fully account for some of the lower sounds, leaving room for doubt. In the wilderness, unusual combinations of sounds can signal feeding activity or potential danger. Was this simply nature sounding far more unusual than expected, or did adventure marksman make the right decision by trusting his instincts and leaving before discovering the truth the hard way? On November 13th, 2018, deep in the Great Smoky Mountains of North Carolina, My Backyard Birding released this unsettling video originally recorded weeks earlier in late September 2018. The sound is unnatural, somewhere between a roar and a scream. It carries through the trees and echoes back. Nearby branches crack slowly and heavily as if something large is moving just out of sight. He stops and remains completely still. The sound comes again closer this time. It feels deep and powerful, not rushed and not afraid. The forest suddenly feels much smaller. Another call follows louder and longer. The sound seems intentional, almost like a warning or a claim. He cannot see anything, but he knows he is not alone. For a moment, he is unsure whether to run or stay quiet. Every step feels risky. Later, it is revealed that the sounds came from elk, massive animals, once absent from these mountains, now returned, rarely seen, often hidden, but unforgettable when heard this close. Sometimes what we cannot see feels more frightening than what we can. Would you have stayed to find out or walked away? On May 25, 2018, John, an outdoor enthusiast who thrives in remote environments, captured one of the most memorable moments from his channel, Lost Lakes. He usually explored with his partner Aaron, but this time he was alone. The footage is short, quiet, and filled with tension. What unfolded that night serves as a serious reminder for anyone camping far from help.
Highway 101, west of Chapleau. So this is some very remote country despite being right off the highway, and it's the black bear capital of the world, so I'm thinking that's a possibility. To keep the paranoia away, as I call it.
That night, John is alone inside a small tent. It is around 3 a.m. and the forest is dark and silent. Then he hears footsteps outside. An animal begins slowly circling the tent. The sound of gravel crunching is clear and steady.
Well, I am living every solo camper's nightmare right now. There appears to be an animal of some kind pacing around my tent. I woke up at 3 a.m. and just couldn't sleep. And then around 3:30, I started to hear this pacing sound, and 45 minutes later.
45 minutes pass and the movement does not stop. Nearly an hour goes by. The animal continues circling, never going far. John remains still, trying to stay in control.
Just pacing around out there. So, I'm going to talk it out with the GoPro and maintain sanity, and maybe the talking will make it go away. I'm just off Highway 101, west of Chapleau. So this is some very remote, and it's the black bear capital of the world, so I'm thinking that's a possibility. To keep the paranoia away, as I call it.
He knows the area is known for black bears, which makes the thin tent walls feel even more vulnerable. He speaks out loud, hoping the noise will scare the animal away. It doesn't.
To keep the paranoia away, as I call it, we got 3 main tools. I think these are well worth having with you. Even in the backcountry, it's a little extra weight, but a little air horn. That's the first line of defense, along with the headlamp. The bright light can be a good tool in trying to blind an animal that has much better night vision than ours, but would be very sensitive to light. Second line of defense, if the thing starts poking its nose at the tent, then I have got this little hatchet here, which I could whack it with this like sheath on. And then last line of defense, you might think this would be the second one, is the bear spray. If I use the bear spray in the tent, I'm going to get blinded and incapacitated. Let's say a bear, if it is a bear, if it were to try and raid my tent, probably going to get the worst of it. The idea being that hopefully it also gets hit and runs away.
Going outside feels too dangerous. Then suddenly, something brushes against the tent. Even though it is a small movement, it is enough to push John into panic.
And my car is literally right outside there, but I can't find my car key for the life of me. So while I'm tempted to hop out and get in the car, turn on my headlights, that's not an option right now because I'm an idiot and I can't find my key. It's all gravel here. This is a kind of a boat launch with this little lake here. So I can hear everything on the gravel. I can hear all the footsteps. Talking isn't making it go away. Maybe it's just curious and maybe it's biding its time for an attack. I don't know. If you're a solo camper, these are some good ways to keep your sanity. So a few bonus items. Something literally just touched my tent before I turned on the camera. Second, there's no cell signal here. And third, I have to pee. It's really just comical almost. And I found myself almost falling asleep here again. It's amazing how you can, I don't know, just your brain starts to forget about the threat after it's been over an hour now.
As daylight slowly returns, the sounds fade and the animal leaves. A quiet night can change quickly in the wilderness. Maybe it was only curiosity or maybe something else. Would you have stayed inside or tried to run for the car? On November 17th, 2024, deep within the Blue Mountains of Australia, the YouTube channel Scotty's Gone Walkabout shared this footage showing how a quiet campsite can shift into something unsettling after dark. He spends the day trekking along a peaceful mountain river, fly fishing and looking for a place to set up camp.
Well, g'day guys, and welcome back to the beautiful Australian bush. So camping in the mountains this weekend on an overnight camp. We are in the middle of spring, the bugs are starting to come out, so it'd be nice to catch a trout off the surface and cook one up for dinner. I have to walk downstream because the only access point is so not ideal. It means it's going to be pretty easy to spook the fish.
As evening settles in, the forest grows silent.
Off-grid meals, but I think it's still going to be pretty tasty, so let's get that on the fire. Alright, so for dinner we're going to have these off-grid provision meals, and I've got the Wagyu bolognese and the potato and salt bush. You're meant to sort of put this pouch in like a boiling water, like a jet boil, to heat it up, but I'm actually just going to empty the contents into these pans. I've done it before, and it's yeah, nice and easy way to do it. Oh, already that smells so good. That is delicious. Yum.
Later, he steps outside and notices small glowing eyes in the darkness. At first, they seem harmless. He soon realizes they could be dingo pups. They move quietly, watching him from the brush.
Alright, so I just stopped from the tent, looked into the bush, and I could see these little eyes. And I thought it might have been some rabbits, because I thought I saw some rabbit burrows early on. But I just started to get a little bit closer, and they're like little puppies. I don't think they're foxes, I think they're like little dingo pups. I'll try and see if I can get close to them. There's about like 4 or 5 of them, and I couldn't see Mum, so I don't know where Mum is. I'll see if I can film them. So they're just up there. I don't know if you can see the eyes. I'll try and get closer. It doesn't look like a fox. It looks like a dog, or like a dingo. But I can't see where Mum is. Very cute. I should probably leave him in peace. I don't want Mum to come out and attack me. That was rad. That was really cool. I didn't get the entire litter. I could only sort of see that main one. I definitely saw about 4 or 5. I think they're hiding behind that tree there. Really cool.
He slowly backs away toward camp. Everything becomes still, again too still. The fire crackles softly, but the bush feels alert, as if something is aware of him.
They're a dingo. They've got a little bit of sort of darkness to them, but I have seen dingoes that are sort of all different kind of colours, darker fur on them, so yeah, really cool. They had a little white tip on their tail when I was doing that hunting course back in October. Yeah, the second day we went out for another hunt, like a purebred dingo. I think it had like sort of like orangey fur, or that kind of like straw colour fur, 20 metres away from us, and it was really inquisitive. It just like kept sort of like walking through the grass and stopping and looking at us. And Eamon, the guy I was with, he was sort of doing like little fox calls and deer calls just to get its attention. Yeah, really cool. Like I honestly love dingoes, like they're just such a cool animal. We don't really have too many animals like that in Australia. That's pretty much our apex predator, and yeah, really cool. It's just a shame that we got so much 1080 poison. Like even where I parked my car today at the end of the national park, there was signs for 1080 poison. It is just such a horrible death. So that's the main reason I don't bring Banjo out camping. So which is quite a shame, because I'd love to get my dog out here more often, and the last thing you want is for your dog to pick one of those up. So anyway, it's pretty cool. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the morning.
Then a sound cuts through the silence. It is long, low, and unsettling. Not a bark, not quite a howl. It rises from the darkness and sends a chill through him. The hair on his neck stands up.
Oh, you guys hear that? What is that? That just gave me the biggest chills.
The sound comes again closer. He cannot identify it and has never heard a dog make a noise like that. The forest now feels tighter, closing in around the tent.
Oh man, my hairs on the back of my head just like stood up. It's coming from over there. I don't know what that sound is. I've never heard a dog make a sound like that. think it stopped. If you guys know what that is, please leave a comment. This is going to be an interesting night. I think I might be sleeping with my knife pretty close to me. See you guys in the morning. Oh, they're so creepy.
Eventually, the sound stops. He stays still listening. The noise fades, but the tension remains. He keeps his knife nearby and waits for morning, knowing it will be a long night. Maybe it was just wildlife communicating, or maybe something felt different in that moment. What would you have thought if you heard that in the dark?
That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.